My fellow American people, we have made it. Today, we have made history. Not only by the exceeding vote turnout, which has been the highest since 1900, but also by claiming our God-given right to shape our democracy and advocate for our ideas and our beliefs. Today, we as Americans have proven that this country was truly built on pride, unity, and the pursuit of happiness. That we have not forgotten what we used to preach, what we used to stand for. That even in these troubling times, we agree that we will not let our past mistakes define us. We have proven to us and the world that we as American citizens have faith in a new beginning. A new beginning we have so desperately been waiting for. A new beginning we fought for devotedly, wholeheartedly, passionately. A new beginning. A chance to undo the wrong we have suffered as a nation. Most importantly, we will conquer this challenge together. Together. Something we haven't been for a long time. Far too long. My dear American people, starting today, we will not fuel this fiery battle of perspectives and beliefs any further. We will not give in to the temptation of the toxic habits we created as a nation of constantly tearing each other apart ruthlessly. We will and cannot go on this way. We will not fight, but unite. What has been extensively overdue, we will fix together, united as one. We will learn together, heal together, evolve, and succeed together. And together we will overcome all obstacles that are impeding us from existing in a community peacefully. And we will conquer all challenges that we're currently faced with and that will be of significance in the future together. Us mastering these challenges together means leaving no one behind. It means reaching out and helping people who need our help. Helping Kansas when it has to endure another tornado. Helping Missouri when it faces another flood. Helping Arizona when it suffers the consequences of another drought. Helping California when it encounters another series of wildfires. We must slow down climate change so that the number of natural catastrophes that American people have to withstand each year will not increase. The fight for our home, for our nature, and our future is one that we have to fight together now. At this point, it's too late. It's too late to find excuses and reasons why this is not our problem. It is our problem. You have made wrong decisions, and we all have made wrong decisions. Of course, our planet is constantly developing and climates are always changing. Nature has its own course of climate change. But this, where we are now, is far beyond natural climate change. We are not the only people who will ever walk on this earth. And it is our responsibility and our commitment to protect and preserve our homeland. We should not be the last generation to experience New York covered in snow. We should not be the last generation to see Miami before it turns into Atlantis. We should not be the last generation to gaze at the glaciers of Alaska. And we should not be the generation that failed to protect our planet because it was simply easier to just ignore the problem. Currently, you can visit all of these places, but someday you will not be able to, since climate change was not negotiable. There will not be a new revised Earth with endless resources, or at least we haven't found one yet. The planet we're walking on is the only chance we have. And if we treat it right, it will be the only one we'll need. So let us take on this new beginning and make it right. Even if it is starting small and consciously taking action. Let us use this new beginning and change things together and change them for the better. Let us change things together for everyone. But the constantly increasing temperature is not the only challenge testing the American people on a daily basis. In fact, many people cannot even worry about ice bears on the North Pole when the fear of losing their home and their job, their existence, seems to have no resolution. At the annual HUD point in time in January 2019, about 560,000 people were experiencing homelessness. And the numbers for the corona pandemic are not even being considered in these statistics. And although the unemployment rate has dropped down to 6.7% again, many Americans are worried for their job as the pandemic has brought major damage to our economy. And in the long run, people are still worried about their existence. While many people are terrified of losing everything they call home and falling deeper into the pit of darkness they already find themselves in, due to costly health-related procedures and college fees, only the top 5% worry about taking a COVID test before going on vacation. But our politics are about people and not profit. As Abraham Lincoln once said, democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Inspired by these meaningful words by my predecessor, I promise to all Americans that we will do everything in our power, everything that is possible to make sure every citizen of the United States has a place to come home to, a sustainable career, and the possibility to achieve their dreams regardless of their background. Because I believe that where you come from ought not to decide where you will go. It is our responsibility to treat everyone equally, since that is the promise our country was built on. And the idea of all Americans being created equal should not face limitations because of materialistic aspects. It is our duty as Americans to stand and live by that promise. It cannot be restricted by a human being, a party, or a system. This unconditional respect that we owe to everyone is what has been missing in what should be one of our most important institutions, our healthcare system. The COVID-19 outbreak that has devastated our country with no warning has made matters significantly worse and more visible to all parties involved. And I would like to use this moment to thank all of you sincerely for your collaboration during this difficult time. Thank you to every single one of you who is present today and who is celebrating with us at home for showing solidarity and following the guidelines. And now, especially during the state of emergency we find ourselves in, revising and advancing our healthcare system is more important than ever before. It shouldn't be a privilege to be healthy. It shouldn't be a privilege to get the treatment you need. It shouldn't be a privilege to get paid enough when you spend all day caring for others. It has to be a right. Healthcare system. The word itself suggests a meaning along the lines of, we care about your health, as well as we care about the people who work for your health. But in the past, many of you have experienced the complete opposite. And in the name of our government, I am deeply sorry. I'm sorry, and I give you my word that we will reform this healthcare system so there will be no more families suffering in similar situations you have suffered in. That no one will struggle the way you have struggled. And that no American will be lost without this healthcare system doing everything in its ability to save them. A country that relies on all men being created equal shouldn't have a healthcare system that implies that all men are equal to what they own. When you or your loved ones are going through a serious condition, life is already hard enough. And a government for its people shouldn't make their lives even harder, but rather lift some weight off their shoulders. And we will create a system that supports the people who need its support and helps the families who cannot see light at the end of the tunnel right now. It will be the wind in their sails as they are sailing across the troubled waters and not the storm, giving them the death blow. The injustice you had to endure will be mended, and the support you long for will be provided, and the peace you yearn for will be restored. As once said by Warren G. Harding, America's present need is not heroics, but healing. Not nostrums, but normalcy. Not revolution, but restoration. My fellow Americans, we're also consumed by the thought of moving forward, of this new beginning that we so desperately seek. We forget to acknowledge our past. Not the eulogized narrative where we are the glorious, blessed rulers of the world. Not the tale of us Americans as the glorified winners of all wars and the carriers of freedom and liberty. We need to deal with the version that is dark and controversial, that is real and raw. the one that is painful and unpleasant, the one that might be a distasteful commitment to us proud and usually optimistic Americans. By fighting against confrontation, we are in denial. We are letting our past define us. We're doing exactly what we wanted to avoid so badly. Let us not be driven by fear, but by courage. Let us not misjudge the urgency of speaking openly about our issues, about the mistakes we've made, even if it is agonizing, the same way our ancestors have done. Let us be courageous to conquer this new challenge in what has been uncharted territory until the present, because history, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived. But if faced with courage, need not to be lived again. As Maya Angelou has beautifully composed. Throughout my whole candidacy as President of the United States, I have promised development and innovation. I've promised diversity and change. I have promised a new beginning. And I stand before you today to vow this new beginning to you. May this historical moment serve as a token for my compliance to serve this country and execute my pledge to the best of my ability. I'm eternally grateful that you have chosen to give me the opportunity to take responsibilities for your ideas and your beliefs. But with that also comes responsibility for each and every one of you. This right here is a new era. Not of empty promises which are worded with expressions no one can understand, but of action and brutal honesty, even if it isn't pretty or pleasant. We will do it differently this time. We have been silenced and powerless for too long. This is our time to be active and take a stand for what we want and what we believe in. So I ask you, my dear companions, let's take this first step together. Let us work on this journey of the realization of our dreams, of this new beginning together. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. A quote by Angela Y. Davis that truly puts my feelings into words. We have accepted this society of infuriating injustice towards minorities, towards immigrants, towards women, towards the LGBTQ+ community, towards any religion that isn't Christianity, and towards everyone who does not fit in the traditional categories we've gotten so used to putting our fellow human beings in. We have accepted that if we're not directly affected by the effects of this injustice, we do not get involved because it is simply not our battle to fight. We have accepted that apparently this is not everyone's issue, and a human's right can be up for discussion when they do not have certain socially favored characteristics at their disposal. Now I ask you, isn't it an insolence that we still get to call ourselves the United States of America? Unity is impossible to find. It is impossible because we are still supporting this outdated social construct which promotes division and hatred by pulling us further and further apart. Nelson Mandela once said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." We have made mistakes. Terrible and gruesome mistakes. The mistake of not paying enough attention to the injustice in our society. The mistake of not educating our children enough. The mistake of not speaking out when it didn't directly affect us. And most importantly, the mistake of allowing it to come this far. We've made mistakes of tremendous significance. Will we continue to carry this bitterness in our hearts, or will we recognize our mistakes and be open for growth and compassion for every single one of our fellow human beings, regardless of their skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, or religion? Now it is our duty as citizens of the United States of America to take responsibility for wanting and advocating for change. It is our duty to recognize that it must not go on this way. I am grateful beyond words to be able to witness the seeds being planted in this beautiful beginning of what will flourish to a divine flower of our reformed democracy one day. Thank you to each and every one of you who is standing before me today, as well as all of my fellow Americans watching this from afar. Thank you for your trust, your hope, your determination to give our beloved country a chance for growth and a chance for a new beginning. May God bless us on this new path of never-ending faith in a better future that has been well established by our ancestors and kept alive through each and every one of you, carrying the values of the American dream in your heart. May God bless the changes that this will enable in all the Americans who have worked so hard to turn them into reality. And may God bless the, at last, United States of America. Thank you.